A couple days ago, a friend of mine showed me this really cool algorithm. It only needs like 10 command blocks, and what it will do is it will start with one armor stand like that. And then when you turn it on, it will start branching in random directions like you see here. And the shape looks really cool, kind of like veins or a very organic branching pattern. And so what I've done is I've taken this original 10 command block version and I have turned it into a slightly more complex version. And so you'll see the general shape is actually very similar to the original one that I showed you. Before I turn it into a tree, I want to show you how the algorithm works because it's actually insanely simple. It just starts off with one base armor stand like this, and then every tick it draws a circle around that armor stand and randomly puts another armor stand somewhere in the circle. And then that new armor stand just teleports straight towards the closest armor stand, which in the beginning is just the center armor stand. But as we go out, there can be closer armor stands, and that's how you get this branching. And then we just repeat that over and over and over again. And surprisingly enough, we actually get this really organic looking vein system from like 3 commands. It's surprisingly simple for how good it actually looks, but I do think it's going to give us some trouble turning it into something that actually looks like a tree. My first initial thought, turn our algorithm on for just a couple seconds, like 10 seconds or so. And then once we get enough branching, like I think this looks good, we turn the algorithm off and we have the structure. We could probably just turn all the armor stands into wood with a command. And hopefully, yeah, it's a tree-esque shape. Definitely look more like branches than an actual tree, so we're gonna have to add a trunk here. Let's start there. So what I've built here is kind of a blueprint for the stump. I've color coordinated by wool. The red wool is gonna be there 100% of the time. That's gonna be the core skeleton of our tree. These orange wool, there's gonna have a probability where it can spawn anywhere between 1 and 6 blocks. And then these yellow wool are gonna have a much lower probability where it's anywhere between 0 and 2 blocks. This isn't exactly what every tree trunk is gonna be like, but it's going to be seeded, so each one's going to be a bit unique, but it'll all follow a pretty similar structure. So now we really just have to translate all this wool into command blocks. Reload all. Now, as you see, I did it in a script because it's so much more convenient to edit than command blocks, but these are all commands. We should be able to go in here, /function, I think it's called trunk. There it is, okay. And then I set up a couple command blocks right here that'll give us this custom willow spawn egg, because I think it looks kind of like a willow, but that'll get us this armor stand and it's got a tag. So we should be able to press this command block. Ooh, I think that was close. We have the bare skeleton. That's all the red wool over there in the example. And then all of these armor stands should be the orange wool, but it looks like a couple of them are offset a little too much. Let's reload that. I made some adjustments, so hopefully that looks more like the shape we're going for. And then all of these armor stands will be in orange wool, and we'll summon the yellow ones as well. All right, I have added in everything, just shy of 72 commands, so let's see if it works. And when we run the function, it doesn't look very random. Let me try again. Does that not look the exact same? I know what it is. I am looking at tag equals trunk when it should be like tag orange on everything. All right, hopefully this works. So we place that and we try it again. Yes, kind of. It looks like it's working. I'm not sure if I like how it looks. This shouldn't be floating. I think it's a good base. I might refine it a little bit more depending how the top comes out. Pretty much what we didn't do, we'll just throw another armor stand on top up here and we'll run our algorithm from before. So I have it set up. It should just test for when we spawn in something. And then it should, about 12 blocks up, it'll summon this armor stand. And this is the armor stand with the tag that we need to run our original algorithm. We turn this on, yeah, it'll start going just like that. It does come like immediately out the sides, which is one of the variables that we can modify with this new algorithm, because we want it to come kind of like up into the sides, right? Hopefully the editor puts some nice visuals there. And if you are interested in the function that actually runs all this, it's really just filling the base trunk, summoning some armor stands where we need them, and then it will randomly assign some variables and then place blocks depending on what those variables look like. It should actually be ready. This actually is looking pretty good. I love the way the branches look. We just need it to come up a bit more before it goes out. Let's try it one more time with these modified values. Ooh, okay, look, it came up a lot more before going out. I think that's a good sign. We're gonna have to find a way to smooth this trunk into the rest of the branches. This looks really good. Oh, this is looking good. This is looking good. This is not what it's gonna look like, but I just wanna see what it could look like That's pretty clean, dude, right? It spreads really well. The actual shape looks really good. We're gonna have to find a good way to ease this transition from our pre-generated trunk into these randomly generated branches in a good way. I feel like the best way we might be able to blend the branches into the trunk, we start it at the same thickness as the trunk like this, but then we slowly fade it into just these one wide areas. We're probably gonna wanna make a scoreboard for that. Really, it's just this one scoreboard command, increasing every tick, and then we assign that to the branches. Let me show you what I mean. I've kind of turned it into a heat map, so you can see as it goes from red to orange to green, that's how far away from the tree it should be. I might have to tweak the values because we got literally 0 red, but then instead of mapping it to a colored wool like we have here, we can just map it to our desired thickness of a branch, and that should blend this pretty well. I thought I'd give you a bit more of a visual of what I'm talking about here. And so I've thrown the scoreboard here on the right side of the screen. You'll see when we spawn it, something definitely went wrong. Why is it up there? This is definitely not what I would recommend doing for command blocks, but it does work. So we spawn it, you'll see the scoreboard on the side starts increasing and we get a whole bunch. That's all the branches getting a score value. So now if we render it, you'll see the red coming out into the orange, into the yellow, into the green, based on how far into the life cycle these branches generated. We even get some mixing you see here, which is really weird. I don't know how this happened. So now if we just map this color into a thickness, we should have it. I've mapped out the various widths. I think these should look good. I'm gonna throw this into a script. We'll see what it looks like. I have thrown the script together, just a branch function like you see there. And then let's try Right now it looks like this tree could benefit from going on Ozempic. We can probably completely cut out the red. Maybe something like this could look good. Okay, I have updated the function. It's actually really simple now. So let's see if it looks good. Reload all, and let's give it a try. And then we'll stop it here. That's actually a lot closer. Still very thick right there where it meets. There are some shapes like this. I feel like it should be a little smoother. Honestly, we could tweak these values all day. I might just mess around with them for a while and then find a seed that I think looks best. This is the revised shapes that I think will look best. And then I'm also changing the trunk because right there is where we like start the branching algorithm. So what I'm thinking is it'll smooth it out like this so that hopefully it blends just a little easier into the rest of the tree. With the new algorithm, let's see. I've modified the algorithm. It's 3 command blocks longer, which is really simple, but it modifies the size variable, which is why I have it out here on the side. It should give it a better shape, but it's kind of hard to explain. So I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. This one looks pretty good. The way it blends in the trunk right here, this looks pretty natural. The branches I think look pretty good. They have that arc to them. I think it's coming along decent. We need to get these branches sorted out, but the trunk is looking pretty. Use code the commencement for 25% off. 25% off what? 25% off your first month on Spark Toast. That sounds like a good deal. Okay, I think we're at the point where we should move on to the leaves. I would say this is pretty close to what we're going for. I don't know if I could talk about branches in a way that's entertaining. So I've set up an algorithm that should calculate the leaves at the same time as the branches. It's like 5 commands. So we'll see here in just a second when they load if it looks good at all. Why is it like that? What it was meant to do is on the second smallest, create this amount of leaves, and on the smallest, just this little bunch. All the leaves seem to be below it. I think I genuinely just forgot I put a 1 here and forgot to put it everywhere else. So, okay, that's a lot closer. There's still a lot of leaves on the bottom where they should be showing more branches. Reload all. Let's try it. We see the branches from the bottom for the most part, which is kind of what we want. It looks very sparse. We really need the trees to fill out the silhouette. Maybe I just let the algorithm run for like 3 times as long and then the branches will fill the space. I'm just gonna up it from 450 to like 1500 because I don't want to deal with all the lag. I've added the invisibility command block right here just so that we don't have to render 1500 armor stands. I guess we will see. Should be getting close. We're at 1400. Ooh, okay. Initial impression, it looks a lot better. It's not dense enough. From a side view, it looks okay. All right, I've revised it just a little bit. Let me try and show you the idea here. It should go like normal, and then once it's done 400 iterations, it will start bringing these small branches up a little bit like this. The idea there is that we can get a little bit better coverage all over the tree. I gotta make these invisible before it crashes my game. Oh. Huh. It is kind of funny looking, but also it's quite well filled, which might be a good sign. From the right angles, it looks pretty good. I think I have arrived at the ideal algorithm. Let's give it a shot. I have an idea. I've kind of gone through everything and just tried to condense it. I feel like we have the branches for something like this, and then the branch algorithm is something like this. We can kind of split the difference. We get a medium-sized tree with some decent branches. I'm really hoping. I don't know if this was the move, guys. Let me try modifying the values one more time. It just looks so barren. I don't know, I might have to admit defeat here. My last hope is to see how it looks with vibrant visuals. I don't know about this one, guys. I think it might be burnt. Our tree algorithm, like the branch generation actually looks really good. Yeah, like I feel like this looks like a really good dead tree. It's just when we try and turn it into an alive tree and put the branches on there, it just doesn't look good. Look at this. I feel like in a savanna as a dead tree, that looks pretty cool actually. If I was gonna have it be a dead tree intentionally, I probably would have used acacia wood like this. I don't think I quite made a tree from this algorithm, but I think I made a really good dead tree from this algorithm. We just should have stopped there. But I guess sometimes that's just what you got to do to learn. It was a cool idea. So if you like these kind of videos where it's a lot more in the algorithms and you get to see the building process, then leave a like down below and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I forgot, it relies a lot on the ground topology. I mean, it's kind of neat.